Hey everyone, it's Mike from Destination to Travel coming to you live today from the EPCOT International Flower and Garden Festival. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. I hope you're ready to take a walk around EPCOT with me as we check out all of the offerings for this festival that just began last week and runs through July 4th. So long festival here at EPCOT. Good morning, Jenny. Between this, the International Flower and Garden Festival, and the International Food and Wine Festival, they take up about 2/3 of the year here at EPCOT. And then you've got the International Festival of the Arts and the International Festival of the Holidays that take up the rest of the year. But it's great because we get new offerings at EPCOT pretty much every time you come out. We got some characters out here. We got Goofy and Pluto. They are still doing the socially distanced meet and greets here in Walt Disney World. That did change at Disneyland Paris. Guests can now hug their favorite characters again, and we expect that to be coming back at some point this year here in Walt Disney World as well. So if you have a trip planned for later this year, you might be able to get to hug your favorite characters again. Good morning, Debbie. Hi, Patty. Hi, Tom. It's a nice morning here in EPCOT. It is starting to heat up. Although we got a lot of rain last night, so it's cooled off a little bit now. But I think next week we're pretty much all in the 80s all throughout. So if you're visiting anytime soon, just be ready for some Florida weather. Hi, Kathy. Looks like Spaceship Earth is actually down right now. That's interesting. We're gonna head this way, typically the way that I like to go entering EPCOT these days, with all the construction still happening behind Spaceship Earth. So we're gonna head towards Test Track, Mission Space, and then make our way back to World Showcase. On our way, we'll get a little update on Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. By the way, the entrance to EPCOT right now, that whole area where we just were, obviously they decorate it for Flower and Garden. You see all those topiaries and flowers and stuff out there. I feel like they are also just pumping in flower smells because it is so strong. And it smells really good up there right now. Oh yeah, Debbie points out, I was just watching a live stream last night at EPCOT and it was all flooded. Yeah, we got a pretty bad storm last night. Nothing too crazy, but it was raining a lot. Very heavy rain. I saw a lot of videos from Hollywood Studios down, like Hollywood Boulevard was all flooded. Kind of came out of nowhere. Looks like we should be good today, though. I do have my umbrella just in case, but I think we're going to be all right. Wow. Okay, so last time I was here, the Nova Corps ship up in front of me was not completed. I mean, they're still obviously working on it right now, adding some details and stuff, but that thing is huge. It's so much bigger than it was the last time I saw it. This Xandarian ship will circle around to the front and give you a better view of it. Wow. It is impressive. And this is out in front of Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. We still don't have an opening date, although pretty strong rumors it's going to be around Memorial Day weekend, but no official dates yet. So if you have a trip planned, it's going to open in the summer. That's all they gave us is summer 2022. So if you have a trip planned for the summer or later in the year, you'll get a chance to check out Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Wow, this ship is awesome. That is really, really cool. Can't really get too good of a view with the wall, but it is so much bigger than I expected. It's a pretty narrow window in the cockpit there. Not very efficient. I cannot wait for this attraction. This is going to be so awesome. It is a quote-unquote family type of coaster, but I expect it to be, it's not like Gadget's Go Coaster or something like that. It's going to be way more impressive than something like that. So definitely expect a big, thrilling attraction here. When Troy explains it's life-sized. Yeah, exactly. So I want to sit in the cockpit. That's awesome. I cannot wait. Hopefully early summer we'll be able to experience that. I don't think that's an attraction that we'll ever be able to really do a live stream of, because one, it's an completely indoor attraction. We'll probably not have very good service to do that with. And then it's a coaster, but also is going to have like screens and show scenes. It might be difficult to see a lot of it. So we'll see. We'll see what it's like when it actually opens. Okay, so I am guilty of forgetting seeing things all the time, but this all right here seems completely new to me. Like it's like a flower and garden edition here. This whole, I don't know if these trees have been here, and then all of this looks new. And wow, I swear I can smell it again. Like I can smell these plants. So this is prehistoric plants. And that's actually what I thought too. Like kind of looks like a dinosaur type of exhibit. Oh yeah, and there's a dinosaur in here. Oh, and some fossils too. Look at that. Really cool. As Vicky points out, oh, hang on, I missed it. Wait, there it goes. Okay, love Flower and Garden. Yeah, I love additions like this and make the park look so much nicer. Greg points out I will be there in 75 days. That would be a good time for it to open. Let's see, we're in March right now. I would say you have a pretty good shot, right? It seems about right around then. Hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers for you. And Troy compares Cosmic Rewind to the Pirates attraction at Shanghai Disneyland, which I haven't gotten to see for myself, but I have watched videos of it, and wow, that attraction is amazing. If Cosmic Rewind is a fraction of that, it'll be awesome. So there was a booth here last year, a couple food booths, but this year looks like they're just using this as outdoor escapes presented by Off. It's just more of a garden. Really nice seating area. Need some more shade over here, but it's nice. And then we do have a couple of booths nearby. We'll come back around to the Farmer's Feast over here on my right, but I want to come up to the front here. We got Sunshine Griddle. I mean, anytime you have the word griddle involved, I'm going to be interested. Here we go. We've got, oh yes, okay. I remember I tried this one last year. I had the corned beef brisket hash, which was good. Oh, I want to try those fried cinnamon roll bites. Those look really good. I've heard really good things about the avocado toast as well. So yeah, some good first options. Oh, that is also where you get the Fruit Loops milkshake, which was fantastic. Sounds weird, and it is a little weird, but it's delicious. Let me catch up on some comments here as I make my way to the next booth. Paul was able to see the topiaries before leaving last week, but we'll be back in May. And yeah, Flower and Garden goes on for a long time, so if you got plenty of time to come out and experience Flower and Garden. Kathy, 342 days until your next trip. That's a long way out, but at least you have something to count down to. It's exciting, and yeah, you have better odds of Cosmic Rewind being open by the time you get here. Hang on, let me come around to the menu here with the pictures. So at Farmer's Feast, we've got, oh, that's right, this is the one that they are changing out the menus as the event goes on. So up until April 9th, you can enjoy this menu. You've got some chilled potato and leek soup, char-grilled bison ribeye, that sounds fantastic, and a goat cheese creamsicle pop, that is interesting. And there is the bison ribeye, and there is your potato and leek soup. I will probably be trying that ribeye at some point.
2 more. There you
go. I'm just seeing Rob's comment. If I were a supervillain, I would be the Griddler. I like it. I'll take it. Yes, Greg, over in the what was it, Sunshine Griddle? They had fried cinnamon roll bites that looked really, really good. Paul is with me on the bison ribeye. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to try that one at some point for sure. And luckily, I have plenty of time. This festival, again, is running through July 4th. So I have a lot of time to get out here and try everything I want at this festival. Not like Festival of the Arts. I feel like I only got out here a couple times for Festival of the Arts because that's a much shorter run than Flower and Garden. And yeah, Debbie agrees that ribeye looked good too. Yeah, that's going to be on my list. And of course, another staple of Flower and Garden is the character topiaries, which we'll see a bunch of. We started off with Goofy up in the front of the park. You got Mickey and Minnie here with Spaceship Earth behind them. And then you got Donald and Daisy with Huey, Louie, and Dewey in the middle as well. And Debbie points out the flowers are gorgeous. Yeah, I agree. It's so hard for me to pick my favorite festival because I love the way the park looks during Flower and Garden. My favorite food, though, as I've said before, is always typically during the Festival of the Arts, which is surprising because there is the Food and Wine Festival, but there's always something good at Festival of the Arts. But man, look at this. This is amazing. And then, of course, you've got the flower quilt across the way here. You got some butterfly topiaries. Oh, and this is like the Scentsy display here. So you can smell the Black Forest pine or the sun-kissed citrus. And then across the way, you've got the flower quilt, which I like that they added the 50 over here. That's really cool. Typically you have your Mickey heads, and they added a nice 50. Oh, and there's a Minnie as well. That's awesome. Let's see, we got a couple of Debbies here. Hang on. Debbie Webb says this is my favorite festival, and then Debbie Meyer King. I absolutely love the character topiaries. Yeah, I do. I really, really like Flower and Garden a lot. You can see down here during Festival of the Arts is where you would find that chalk art, but they have replaced it now with a photo pass opportunity. You can get your photo with the flower quilt behind you. Yeah, it's kind of amazing how strong Paul points out this area smells so good. How strong the scents are coming from all of the flowers. I mean, Disney is known for creating those experiences, pumping out those smells one way or another. So I wouldn't be surprised if they are doing that with a lot of this, but still, it's fantastic. Over here we've got a Sorcerer Mickey topiary with the brooms and the ostriches and the hippos. Oh, Paul says, hey, we know an amazing chalk artist who was there. I don't know which one you're specifically talking about, but all of the artists that did the chalk art there, my mind is blown by what they can do, because it's so incredible. And we checked it out in past videos, so you can always go back and see some of the chalk art. But wow, it's amazing what they could do. We were talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, so I wanted to point out Rocket and Groot here, as the Fab 50 statues can still be found around all of the Walt Disney World parks. The 50th anniversary, world's most magical celebration going on through into next year. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with comments, but the glare from the sun on my phone right now is really hard to read them all. I'll do my best. Greg said, bringing, oh, hang on, there we go. His mom and his sister and mom for a princess trip. Neither have been there in 35 years and have no idea about the festival. That's awesome. That's an exciting surprise. Sheila points out lots of puffy clouds. Hopefully not as much rain in it as yesterday. I think we are supposed to get some rain, but later in the day, well after my video is done, so we should be able to stay dry here today. Give you a good look at the lagoon here. Oh, okay, very cool. Troy points out our agent, Marissa Alvarado, was one of the chalk artists. That is so cool. And Paul as well, Marissa Alvarado from D2 Travel. Very, very cool. And again, Marissa, if you're watching, what you do is incredible. I can't even begin to fathom how you do what you do. So a couple more booths here. We've got Trowel and Trellis. I don't believe I saw anything new on this menu here. This is one of the recurring booths here for Flower and Garden, as most of them are. Let's see, we got grilled baby vegetables, sausage and kale soup. It's Impossible, by the way, so this is all a vegan booth here. You go, so we have boneless Impossible Korean short rib, and then chocolate cake. Very cool. I might have to try the Impossible short rib. If you've never tried Impossible meat, it's unbelievable. It is. You would never know that it wasn't real. Yeah, Rob's with me on the Korean short rib. I'm intrigued for sure. I have definitely been tricked by an Impossible burger before. So I would imagine the short rib could do pretty much the same. I was looking for the photos for the Mexico Pavilion booth here, but I don't see them. So let's just check out the menu itself. And you guys know, if you've been watching for a while, that this is one of my go-tos for any of the festivals. So you got an enchilada, you got the taco vampiro, which has like the crispy grilled cheese on the outside of it. And then we have a tostada as well. Yeah, at some point, I will be trying everything from this booth. Oh, it smells so, it smells so good. We've been smelling all the flowers and everything, but nothing compares to the smell of like griddled cheese. That might be where I go back today for lunch. Either that or maybe that ribeye up in the front. We'll see. Depends on where I end up. We're stepping into the Mexico Pavilion here. Usually gets a little bit crowded or around this area of the park. You can see the line out here is actually pretty long, and it's about lunchtime, so a lot of people lining up for food right about now. Again, the Flower and Garden Festival, which started last week, runs through July 4th. So lots of time to get out and check out Flower and Garden.
Donald.
We've got Donald meeting and greeting out here. A little bit of a traffic jam there as the mariachi band is playing. People are gathering up. Yeah, Troy points out the band is always great. We watched them last time too. Or maybe the time before that. I don't know. I can't keep track of how many times I've been to Epcot. Kathy says, might have to go by myself. I'll be honest. I come out to the parks by myself a lot, as you can tell. But I enjoy it. I like you're able to move at your own pace. You can go wherever you want. I like it. But always nice to come out with family and friends as well. Debbie says, can't wait to be there. Thank you for taking us along. I'm happy to share some of the Disney magic with you guys. Thanks for joining me today. We've got the Troll Topiary over in the Norway Pavilion. I like that they keep the troll here as opposed to adding, a Disney character or something. You do have Elsa and Anna up ahead. So you've still got your Frozen over here in Norway. But I like that they keep, sort of the authentic, the authentic, how you have trolls just walking around in Norway all the time. That's very real. No, I like how they stuck to like sort of original Epcot. Tom brings up a great point here. Epcot is a great place to slow down and enjoy each attraction. Yeah, it really is. Epcot doesn't have nearly as many big attractions as you would see in like Magic Kingdom or even Hollywood Studios. So it's a really nice, slower pace for a park than most of the others. And there's just so much detail. I've been coming like once a week for the past 5 years, and I haven't seen everything in this park. There's just so much. Like I said, we got Elsa and Anna here out in front of Frozen Ever After, which doesn't look like it has too long of a queue. They are outside right now, but not wrapped around the corner like we've seen recently. Let's see, what's the wait time for Frozen Ever After right now? It's like 40 minutes. Oh, nope, that's 90 minutes. That's still not too bad, though. That's probably the longest wait time in this park right now. And also, I would say, if you see the queue right up there, it's probably not that long. So, If you've been watching videos recently, we've been seeing the queue lined up around the corner over here. By the way, we just got to see Frozen, not on Broadway, but the Broadway musical. It came to the Dr. Phillips Center in Orlando, and it was amazing. If you have the opportunity to see that, I highly recommend it. It was spectacular. All right, we've got our next food booth up here, the Lotus House in the China Pavilion. The spicy mala chicken skewer. House-made cheesy crab wontons. That sounds good. You've got a milk tea, and then you've got some Marco Boba, which is amaretto iced coffee, milk, and boba. I do like that, but I don't know that I would want it in the heat. Kung Fu Punch, Tang Dynasty, a couple cocktails. Very cool. So I'll probably be back here to try out the wontons at some point. Now let's see what topiaries we have here in China. Looks like we've got the pandas over here. Oh, Troy is all about the Kung Fu Punch. And I see Debbie would like me to order her the milk tea with boba virtually. Not sure how well that would work. So this is the difficult thing about these festivals is there's just so many options that it becomes so hard to choose what you're actually going to eat. My recommendation is always to grab one of the booklets on your way in or do some prep in advance of your trip and plan out the favorites that you like have to try and prioritize those because it's very easy to try to eat and drink 2 or 3 things, then all of a sudden you can't eat anymore and you miss out on some of your favorites. But of course, you can always wing it too. You can always just grab lunch or dinner or whatever, wherever you're gonna, at whatever booth you're closest to at the time. But there's so many great options. It's so hard to pick. It's so hard to narrow it down. And it's not even just all the booths, because you'll see things like right here at a refreshment outpost, they have this pineapple skewer, which is special for the festival as well. Pineapple skewer with tagine seasoning. Oh, Greg says, as long as they have the vegetarian bratwurst in Germany, we are good. Well, that's the next booth we'll be checking out, so I'll let you know shortly. Wendy says, wish I was there. Well, glad I can bring you a taste of the EPCOT International Flower and Garden Festival, at least. But if you do want to come out and check out the festival for yourself, again, and it's running until July 4th, so you have plenty of time. You can head to d2travel.com or send us an email at info@d2travel.com and start planning your trip today. All right, so we've got the German booth here, the Bauer Market. We got potato pancakes. That's interesting. We got potato pancakes, and then we got potato pancake. One of them is with house-made applesauce, the other one with caramelized ham, onions, and herb sour cream. We got a toasted pretzel bread and warm cheese strudel. Sorry, Greg, I don't see vegetarian bratwurst on here. But you do have that trowel and trellis booth up in the front with some really good looking options. So at least there's that. Yeah, Germany booth is another one that I usually get something from for every festival because they always have some really good options. And potato pancakes are Jess's favorite, so we'll probably be getting those. And this is another one where the smell absolutely killing me. Definitely grabbing some lunch as soon as we wrap up today's video. I love these trees. It's weird because they look great when they actually like bloom, but I love seeing them like this. Oh, we got some more character topiaries back here. I'm not sure why the Muppets are in Germany, but they are.
Oh my gosh.
We got Kermit and Miss Piggy. I know they were in France before, which I guess doesn't really make any more sense than it does having them in Germany, but there's Miss Piggy. And there's Kermit. Always nice seeing more Muppets in the parks. Oh, and look at that. We got Snow White over here as well. Snow White and Dopey. I know there are all 7 dwarfs. Oh, yep, there they are. Okay, we'll go check out the dwarfs in just a second here. But here's Dopey and Snow White. And then here's the rest of the dwarves. There's a cool detail about these this year that I'm going to point out for you in just a second. But here are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good. They're all here. Making sure nobody got left out. So there's an interesting character included in this topiary here, and that's Squeaks. I'm not sure which dwarf is which, but right here at the end on his nose, you can find Squeaks, the adorable little caterpillar from The Fox and the Hound. Really interesting that he was included in that topiary. Ooh, getting more flower smell over here now. Looks like we have another little garden over here. Oh, and this is actually all of the plants that they would use for some of the food here. You got some artichoke, you got chard, you got basil. Squeaks is on Sneezy. That makes perfect sense. Thank you, Troy. Makes sense. The one that's sneezing it's probably Sneezy. Do you think Sneezy gets mad at the other dwarves? Because if they all sneeze, right? They all have to sneeze at some point, and then that's sort of his thing. So then he gets mad, and then Grumpy gets mad at him because he's taking his thing. These are the kinds of things I think about. We also have some lemon, some parsley, an olive tree. Today I learned olives grow on trees. And then we've got the Italy booth here, the Primavera Kitchen. Now, this one's been weird in recent festivals because, and you'll see, this used to be one of the busier booths for all of the festivals, but if you see the difference in prices for this, you got arancini for $14, you got the ravioli for $13, and the bomboloni for $12. It all looks delicious, but when most of the other items for the festival are in the like $6 to $8 range, that's how you end up with no line typically for the Italy booth. That being said, the arancini is always really, really good, and I'm probably going to want it at some point. So Troy says, thinking way too much into that sneezy thing. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. I overthink things. And then Rob, it's a good thing 6 of the 7 are insomniacs. Otherwise, Sleepy would have an issue. Sleepy? Is that his? Yeah. Why? I have a hard time remembering all the names of the dwarves. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Sleepy is, right? Looks like we've got another new photo op over here for Flower and Garden. Oh, I have backed myself into a queue here. So there's a whole queue set up that looks like it's supposed to be for the American Gardens Theater. I don't know why it's set up right now. But there is the Garden Rocks concert series that goes on through Flower and Garden. You'll see they typically have the sign up for what the next show is. As we enter the American Adventure Pavilion. And we've got Foreigner's Journey. I'm aware of Foreigner and I'm aware of Journey. I don't know what Foreigner's Journey is. Is it a combination? But they are here March 8th through the 10th. So you can see those concerts almost nightly throughout the festival here, which is a really, really cool addition. Which, I mean, you see things like they have the Broadway concert series during Festival of the Arts, but Flower and Garden, you get some pretty decent names here in the American Gardens Theater. And it's no extra charge. If you have a ticket to EPCOT, you don't pay anything extra for these concerts, and it's really, really cool. Troy says, great acts for the concerts. Yeah, we've come a couple times. We saw American Authors. That was the first one that I remember seeing, which may not be a name that sticks out, but they have a bunch of songs that you've heard 100 times and just don't know the name of them. So that was really, really cool. It was a really fun experience. Let me see. We've got. Oh, Kathy asked who's there today. It was what was it? Foreigner's Journey. And then Rick Springfield was there a couple days ago. I feel like Rick Springfield is a recurring act. I feel like he comes back a lot. There are quite a few that come back almost every year. And Tom is on board with the Garden Rocks concert series. Behind me over here now, we've got the Magnolia Terrace, the American Adventure booth here. Let's go check out that menu. The smells right now are coming actually from Regal Eagle Smokehouse over here, the barbecue quick service. But again, I am ready for lunch. Oh, there you go. Troy's got a link of all of the concerts for you. If you are watching on Facebook, you can check out that link to see all of the concerts coming for the Garden Rocks concert series. Let's see, I'm going to come around the other side here. And we've got a southern seafood boil, spicy chicken gumbo. That sounds really good. Grilled oysters, house-made boudin bites, and then the pecan praline. I'm not a big seafood person, so maybe I would try that spicy chicken gumbo. And then that pecan praline does look really good. But the grilled oysters I will skip. And the seafood boil as well. We do have another, or a few character topiaries over here. It's like we got Chip and Dale and Pluto.
Restaurant.
Ooh, Debbie asks the $1 million question right here. What am I having for lunch? It's a good question. We might have to stop by the Mexico Pavilion again on my way out, or maybe that ribeye that we saw up in the front. What was it? Farmer's Feast, I believe, was the name of the booth. One of those two probably so far, but there are still a lot of other booths to check out. Too many choices. 100%. Absolutely. But again, lots of time to try them all too. So I will definitely be coming back to Flower and Garden quite a few times throughout the festival. Here's one of my favorite topiaries here as we enter the Japan Pavilion. We got this dragon out here. This makes for such an awesome photo with the gate here behind him. And then Spaceship Earth as well. Love this one. Really cool. All right, hang on. Troy has some information for me on Foreigner's Journey. Oh, okay. So it's basically it's a cover band of those two bands, that's really cool. A lot of songs between the two of them. Should be fun. It says all of the music and energy of two legendary stadium rock bands come together in one electrifying show. That should be a lot of fun, actually. Oh, cool. Sandra says I arrive on Thursday. Can't wait to try out all the offerings. Maybe skip the seafood ones. I am with you, Sandra. And I'll occasionally eat some seafood, but when there are so many choices and I can only try so many of them, that's when I'll typically skip them. Although the one seafood option that I wanted to try was the cheesy crab wontons, I believe, over in China. Those sound really good. So we've got Jasmine out here on the stage as we enter the Morocco Pavilion. Again, socially distanced meet and greet still in effect here in Walt Disney World, but that should be changing. As we found out yesterday, it looks like at some point this year we'll be back to having normal meet and greets. And in Disneyland Paris right now, you can actually hug your favorite characters again. So things are getting back to normal here.
Yeah, but you can stand in front of it.
So recently for festivals, they haven't been putting a booth out in Morocco, but what they've been using is the Tangerine Cafe over here. Taste of Morocco, you can see sangria. And then, oh, well, I guess I have to come over here to check out the menu, but let's see, do they have a special menu out here? Looks like it's just their normal menu out here right now for the cafe. But they do have some special festival offerings as well. So as opposed to doing a booth out here for the festival in Morocco, they just have you go right over to the cafe, which makes a lot of sense, to be honest. So I don't see a character topiary, but we do have this really cool garden over here. And like the one we saw in, between Germany and Italy, we have a lot of the plants that they use for the food. So you got some fennel, you got some parsley, we got some red peppers in the back there, spearmint. Very cool. And then you do have these big butterfly topiaries over here. Actually, it looks like there's a walk-through. Oh, just a little garden area. So let's pop in there real quick. Got this nice flower gate here. Makes for some really nice photos over here. And again, the big butterfly topiary, which you'll find all over the park. We saw them up in the front as well. I don't think this. So we did see the Sensi garden up in the front as before we entered into World Showcase. So that is there up in the front, as Wendy brings up. Our next booth here is La Fresca. Very colorful, pretty booth back here. Let's check out the menu. Oh, again, yeah, just like the one in Germany, we've got arepas, and then we've got arepa, and then we've got arepa.
You gotta get something, Brian.
So you got with melted queso fresco, with shrimp, crushed avocado, ají, and tomato sauce, and then top with chorizo. I kind of want all of those. And then you've got a coconut tres leches as well. So yeah, that all sounds really good. Now we are entering France with Fleur de Lis up in front of me here, the ever popular France booth. Always one of the more popular options for every festival. Let's see what they have for Flower and Garden this year. We've got a croissant with some goat cheese, herbs, and roasted garlic. We've got, I don't know how to pronounce that one. Okay, basically it's a tuna sandwich. And then we've got French green lentil salad with bacon and garlic sausage, and a beignet with a caramelized beignet filled with vanilla ice cream and glazed with caramel fleur de sel. I don't know what fleur de sel is, but it looks delicious. This is the biggest issue when you're watching anyone walk around the any of the EPCOT festivals. You're gonna get hungry. We're gonna cross over to the UK pavilion, and I believe, if I remember correctly, there is actually a booth in the UK pavilion for this festival. There's not typically one over there. So we'll hopefully see some new offerings there. Ooh, it is pretty warm in the sun today. Like I was saying earlier, we are pretty much through the cold time of year here. And by cold, I mean, 50s. It's going to be warm for your next visit. Vicky's with me on the beignet. That looks so good. Might have to try that one. Add it to the list. By the way, we are also entering the spring break season, which pretty much begins like next week and runs through most of April. So that is one of the busier times here in Walt Disney World. I probably won't have the opportunity to get out to any of the parks in that window. So it might be a little while before we get to a park again. I'm trying my best. I've been trying to book reservations, but it's just been few and far between. So we've got a Tinkerbell topiary over here. This whole fairy garden of little fairy houses. course, you got a decent line for fish and chips. One of the most popular quick service locations here in EPCOT. Oh, and that smell of the fish and chips is filling the air right now. We got the Winnie the Pooh topiaries out here, Mr. Rabbit. And you got Tigger, Eeyore, and Piglet as well.
He was stretching.
And then on the right side up ahead, we've got Cider House, which is the booth here in the UK Pavilion. Let's go check out their menu. Oh, and I see some more topiaries up ahead too. Lots of topiaries over here in the UK. Let's see, we got pictures over here for the Cider House menu. Oh, that's right. I want to try the BLT scone here at Cider House. It's applewood smoked bacon, sun-dried tomato, and basil, so a savory scone. And then you've got the dark chocolate raspberry tart as well. And then it is the Cider House, so you have pink lemonade hard cider, watermelon hard cider, and triple jam hard cider. Interesting. Oh, Samuel Smith Old Brewery pure brewed organic lager. I've never had just their normal lager, but Samuel Smith's makes some really good ones. And then we've also got Snake Bite, which is a cocktail, a beer cocktail made with the cider and the beer. And then you also can get the cider flight as well. Yeah, these those drinks all sound really good. And then I do want to get that scone too. So I will be back to that booth for sure. Like I said, more topiaries. We got Peter Pan and Hook, which are usually back over where we saw Tinkerbell. And then you've got, excuse me, the Croc as well. Somebody help me out. I know he has a name. Is it Tok? Is it TikTok? Something like that. Right? Somebody knows it. I'm sure somebody knows his name. That's the first time I remember seeing that topiary too. I mean, Peter Pan and Hook are always here somewhere. I don't remember seeing the. I thought maybe that would work, helping me to remember his name, but it didn't. Don't remember seeing that topiary though. I was right. Okay, Troy has it for me. It is TikTok. TikTok the Croc. No Robin Hood topiary that I've seen. No, unless it's hidden back somewhere, which could be the case because we with these videos I don't have time to explore all of the pavilions like in depth. But we should start doing that. It's hard because every time I come out to EPCOT, it's like, oh, we're here to check out the new festival. But I'm going to try and mix that in a little bit more. Maybe we'll come one day and like just explore the Canada Pavilion, or any one of them. Be a pretty good idea. Because there's so, like I said before, there's so much detail. As I think it was Tom that pointed out, it's a very good like slow-paced park. You can really take your time with EPCOT. Of course, that changes a little bit during these festivals when you want to eat everything, which is the case for me right now. As we come up to Northern Bloom, the Canada Pavilion booth. You get some seared scallops, some beef tenderloin tips, and then griddled maple pound cake, which that looks amazing. The Canada booth I typically skip because it's always a seafood option and then a steak option, but the steak is always cooked with mushrooms. And I'm not a big mushroom fan either. Seafood and mushrooms are like my two things that I avoid typically. Oh, Troy says so good. I'm guessing that's in regards to something at the Canada booth here, or maybe just the Canada booth in general. And I know they always have a filet for like food and wine that everybody always loves. But yeah, I don't know. It was mushrooms. Not my favorite. So we got citrus blossom. You might have seen some guests carrying the orange bird sipper. This is where you would pick that up. You've also got crispy mojo marinated pork belly, tuna tataki bowl, and grapefruit tart. And then there is the orange bird sipper, a little bit different from the one that was here a few years back that was so popular. Not quite as popular as the recent Figment popcorn bucket, but it was along those lines, and it was really difficult to get for a while. We do have one of those at home. Haven't gotten the new one because I don't think we really need another orange bird sipper, but I really, really like it. If you haven't gotten either one yet, they're an awesome little collector's item. Orange bird's a fan favorite. Okay, it was Canada booth in general is so good. You can ask to hold the mushrooms. That's true. I could always do that, but my issue is there's just so many options that I don't really need to go somewhere to give a special order. Pineapple promenade. We've got the spicy hot dog and of course a Dole Whip. And then you've got, ooh, this looks like one where I will probably come back and get the beer flight at some point. You've got a pineapple beer flight. And you've got, let's see, Three Daughters Brewing Tropical Hef Wheat Ale. Wicked Weed Brewing Fresh Pressed Mango, Pineapple, and Guava Wheat Ale. Yes, that sounds fantastic. And then Point Brewery Hazy Pebbles Fruity Hazy Milkshake. Wait, what? Why is it hazy twice? Hazy Pebbles Fruity Hazy Milkshake IPA. Okay. Those all sound really good, though. I'm probably going to have to get that flight. And I think the last booth... Oh, there might have been one more going back the other way, so I'll turn back around in just a second, but I had to stop at the Honey Bistro. This always has one of our favorites over here. It's also a popular booth, as you can see.
Oh, you want to show me the coffee booth?
Here at the Honey Bistro, you can get the honey and sweet corn spoon bread, which that looks really, really good. Lavender honey mustard marinated chicken flatbread. Oh, so it's actually a little bit different. No, okay. They do the wildflower honey mascarpone cheesecake is delicious. And yeah, they actually have changed the flatbread a little bit. It's now a honey mustard flatbread. So now we're gonna have to try that for sure. They always just had like a honey flatbread before. And then the spoon bread, that looks really good. This might be one of those where we try everything at the booth. Oh man, now I don't know where I'm going to go for lunch today because I found like 3 or 4 more things that I really want to try. You guys tell me, where should I go? Should I go get that ribeye we saw up at the front? Should I go to the Mexico booth? Should I go back to the honey booth? Do I have a beer flight for lunch at Pineapple Promenade? Just, yes, Rob, you're 100% right, it did. Okay, so this was actually not another food booth. This was the Festival Market, which surprisingly doesn't actually have festival merchandise. They've got dolls. Interesting. But we can pop into... Oh, and actually here is a look at Garden Rock's concert series. So you can see Foreigner's Journey, March 8th to the 10th. Rick Springfield was here just before that. Let's see, what are some other names on here that's cool in the gang? Okay. The Pointer Sisters, wow. We've got the Commodores, A Flock of Seagulls. Wow, so some really interesting ones. Simple Plan, Plain White Tees. Some really interesting names on this concert list. And again, this gives you an idea of just how long the Flower and Garden Festival is going on here. Let's go pop into Disney Traders and see some of the, or hopefully see some of the festival merchandise if they haven't sold out of all of it already. Oh, Debbie's vote is for the Mexico booth. All right, it's a good choice. After we check out some of the merchandise, we'll probably just head back over to give you guys a good look at Spaceship Earth as we wrap things up today. Oh, I am not seeing festival merchandise. I am seeing a Marvel display. Excuse me. Okay, so there you go. Lots of Marvel merchandise instead of the Flower and Garden merchandise. It's funny, this was all like Marvel art over here during Festival of the Arts, and I feel like they just replaced it with Marvel merchandise instead. And now it just seems like it's going to stay that way. Oh, look at that. We got Minnie.
Hannah, go right here. Jump on, Lex.
All right, so we're going to wrap things up right over here. Thank you guys for monorail. Thank you guys for joining me for a walk around the EPCOT International Flower and Garden Festival. I'm sure we will be back here before this festival is over because, again, we got like 4 months. I'm going to be back at EPCOT at some point. So we'll be back to check out how things are looking later in the festival. As I pointed out in the beginning, one of those booths did have a rotating menu that changes. I think there's 3 different menus throughout the course of the festival. So some different options that we'll be able to check out. Like I said, we are getting into spring break, so it is getting difficult for me to get into the Disney parks. But I will try my best to get out here, to some of the other parks in the next few weeks. We do have lots of other exciting videos coming up. Well, maybe we'll get out to some of the hotels. We'll get to Disney Springs, things like that as well. So keep an eye out. We'll have a video. Still going to have a video every week, just maybe not so much in the Disney parks. And that's only until late April. Then things will cool off a little bit. Well, cool off is probably the wrong choice of words because it's going to be hot, but it won't be as busy. All right, let me catch up on a few comments before I wrap things up here today. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. So glad you could enjoy EPCOT with me today. And Sheila says, enjoy your lunch. Thank you. I definitely will. Regardless of which one I pick, I'm definitely going to enjoy it. I'm about to go do that right now because I am getting hungry. All right, so thank you everyone again for joining me. Keep an eye out for our video next week, and I'll see you real soon. Oh, one more thing, real quick, before I wrap things up. If you want to book your next Walt Disney World Resort vacation, head to d2travel.com or send us an email at info@d2travel.com. We can start planning that for you today. And again, thank you everyone. See you real soon. Bye.